think anybody is surprised about what we've seen come out in regards to the decision on Max Verstappen carrying a load of speed, which commentators during the live event said that was pretty much way over the speed to come into that turn, to then run Lewis Hamilton off track because Lewis avoided collision incident because of the irresponsibility of Max as usual. And I told you all yesterday while we were live that I thought the reason for them waiting till after the race was, one, to see what Max could do if he could, but the biggest one was to see and get Lewis Hamilton into the room to see if he would give them a out to not have to penalize Max. And he did. And he did. And I'm going to tell you what else is funny. But before we get into all of that, big shout out to everybody. Happy top side of Monday for you. You know, waking up is another day for you to have another opportunity. And so I'm going to say what's up to everybody. What's up, Darth, Kenny Bugs, Tori, Darth, Galactus, Miss Dino, Nicholas, Sounds. Let's get it in. So let's go into this first. Let's just show a lot of the narrative that Formula One tend to take part in, which is kind of crazy to me, right? Because it seems like a systematic thing that they're going to reward Max Verstappen for such actions and try to glorify it as if this is good race. This is good racing talent. This is good racing craft. Max Verstappen this is good stuff. This is what they do. I want you to take a look at a post, Formula One. If there's a window to pass, Max is going to take it with the arm emoji, as if that was good on you, Max. Should that post not say, if at very minimum, a controversial move by Max Verstappen, or a controversial move on track, or a questionable move on track by Max? They said it as if Max did something good. Max did nothing good there. As a matter of fact, he did something that should have been penalized. But I told you why I didn't think he would. So we're going to go ahead and look into the document. We're going to look into the reg, and we're going to go ahead and just a bit break this down. All right. What's up, Bust Them Guns? What's up, Miss Dino? Going to break this down, but I still find it very funny that they are posting a social media post as if rewarding Max Verstappen or basically applauding him for doing something that they are deeming to be good racecraft. When is it good racecraft to go into a turn with a rate of speed to the point where you can't keep your car on track without the other car avoiding collision? What is it to go into a turn knowing what you are planning to do? Because that is what Max Verstappen did. He went into a turn knowing what he was planning to do. We all saw it. We saw this right here. We saw it clear as day. Max is right here. He's going to put his nose where it shouldn't be. And we all know Max's nose should not be there because he doesn't have the apex. Come on, y'all. Let's not be naive. We know that Max was taking an action in hopes, like I always say, to put another driver, this driver, again, specifically being Lewis Hamilton, into a situation where you're either going to avoid the collision that he is going to initiate or you're going to collide. That's not racecraft. That's called playing chicken. In America, and I'm pretty sure everywhere else in the world, two cars going to drive towards each other. Who's going to bail first? If nobody bails, I guess you both have balls and you might live to see another day, or you might not. If somebody else bails, they're the chicken, you're the winner. What kind of game is that? That's crazy. That's what Max Verstappen is doing. He is playing chicken in Formula One to such a way it's dangerous. And you know why I say he's doing that? Because he said he did that. Max said that he did that. By the way, Lewis Hamilton, during a moment in life and in time where he was not happy, still stopping to sign autographs for young fans. Still not in agreement with what he said on the mic. I understand it. And I'm also going to tell you all this. I think that there's a bit more that might be going on behind the scenes that we have not had the opportunity or been privy to. I watched another interview with Lewis, and something seemed a bit more off that may not even be related to Formula One. I'm just saying, it just seemed off, all right? This is definitely what we're going to say. So let's go in here. By the way, Kimmy, keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're hanging with the right person. You need to find a way that if you are going to be great, Oscar Piastri, Kimi Antonelli, Hadjar, find a way to be great to the sport that's going to be beneficial for the sport and the optics of the sport. But Max Verstappen says it right here. He says it right here. Let's just go into this and look at this. He says, I just set my nose next to him. He gets scared and goes off track. I'm actually pretty disappointed I have to go to the stewards after the race. Just analyze it in the race. Well, I feel the same way, Max. I feel like they should have analyzed it in the race and penalized your ass like they penalized everybody else. I'm with you on that. He gets scared. Haven't we heard Max Verstappen use some type of other variation of verbiage before? I think he sent a shot to Lewis Hamilton, called him a weakling. Does anybody remember that? Called him a weakling. It was a shot. You know, he did it. He tried to do a slide, but we all knew what was going on. So I got a question to the FIA, to the sports pundits, to the social media posts. When you see that a guy is actually taking action with intent to go into a situation, making another driver feel that you got one or two choices: to have an accident or to get out of my way. You know what? Kenny Bugs used to say he used to say something. Bull in China shop. Kenny Bugs used to say all the time, Max Verstappen is a bull in China shop. And that is exactly what he is. But let's look at this document because, again, I told you all what I thought was going to happen, and kind of how this document lays out tells me that basically that's what happened. All right, so if we go into the document right here, which we waited for so long to be created, and it took so long for them to make a decision, and what did they do? They made the bullshit decision that I pretty much told you all they would make, all right? So right here, we've seen this before, but we got a different character. We got Bravo instead of Delta. Usually we see Delta, but this time we got Bravo. And right here it says alleged breach of Appendix L, okay? Alleged. Do you get that? Alleged. And if you look at the document, the way the document is, you know, it's alleged. Okay, breach. It definitely was a breach of the ISC. So we got Appendix Lima, Chapter 4, Article 2, Bravo. Decision is no further action. No further action. Go figure. We saw that coming. No further action. But let's get a little bit deeper into this right here. All right. And this is right here. Just check this out. The stewards heard from driver of car 1, Max Verstappen, team representative, video, and in the car evidence. I was wondering why there was no. Usually, don't we see telemetry here? Usually we see telemetry, marshaling system. So was there no telemetry taken into account for this incident? We just doing representative video and in-car video for evidence? We're not doing telemetry. So we're not going to look. So let me get this right. We're not going to take in account speed, approach, apex in comparison to everything previously Max Verstappen did. We're not taking that into account. Why are we not looking at, did you go into this turn with that much speed and at that depth of an apex approach any other time during the race? We're not looking at that. Okay, now we're not looking at certain things. I got it. So we're looking the other way. That's what that tells me, because we should have telemetry in there as well. They should list that. It shouldn't be an option. It should be listed. We know by visual, because if you go back on video and if you pay attention, and I'm telling you right now, I feel like Lewis Hamilton should not have moved. And I said this during the live. Lewis Hamilton should have stood ground, did what he was going to do, which is his approach, make his turn at the apex, just as he did before, and allowed Max Verstappen to play his stupid game and then win a very stupid prize, which is welcome. Here's your collision. You're out, I'm out, and you're further away from the driver's championship. Congratulations, idiot. You played yourself. You thought I was going to move, but I didn't. But Lewis Hamilton moved. The Leon son applauded that action. I said he wasn't wrong if he's going to try to salvage the race. But right here is where you say, you know what? I got all the opportunity in the world right now. I'm not first or second in the driver's championship. I'm not even third in the driver's championship. Max, you're third in the driver's championship. You know what? I got something for your ass. Here you go. You gonna come in that hot? I see you. I'm not moving. I'm gonna take the same approach, turn in this apex, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and make this collision because you don't have the right to the corner. Max Verstappen did not have the right to the corner. And guess why we know this? Because we saw it on video. And for any idiot, and I'm calling it like it is right now, because if you're telling me Max Verstappen had the rights to that corner, you are an idiot right now. Because you're an idiot to think that you're going to tell me that and that I'm going to believe it. Not that you're an idiot because you can't read. Obviously can, should. Not that you're an idiot because you don't see what happened. No, you're an idiot because you think that I am going to buy what you're selling when I can clearly see, read myself, and look at the tape and know he didn't have the rights to that corner. If we slow it down, everybody should know this, right? And they're going to try to sell you on it. So I tell you what, this is what we'll do. We'll go into it and we'll pause it. We'll pause it at the point where Max Verstappen is right here, right there, just beyond that tree. We could tell, right? We could tell as going into this apex, where is Max's front axle? Does everybody see that? Max's front axle is not even parallel or close to being even with Lewis Hamilton's rear axle. Okay, so, I mean, Jay, what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, if you know that much about Formula One to the point that you insult others when they're trying to learn or they say something about the sport, you should know exactly what that means. You should know exactly what the hell that means. But if you don't know, because you probably think that I don't know, I'll tell you. Here you go. Mary Beanie in Super Chat saying that from my source, there is an inside turmoil at Ferrari. I wouldn't doubt it. So here it is right here. Attacker, which is Max Verstappen, less than halfway alongside. This is a real thing. I don't know if people realize this shit. It's not. It's a real thing. It says in the case, the attacker has only their front wing alongside the defender's, Lewis Hamilton's, rear wheel. The defender has the right to the racing. Lewis Hamilton has the right to the racing line. A collision at the apex is entirely, not partly, not somewhat, not maybe, not a little bit, not more than some. It is entirely, that is 100% the fault of Max Verstappen. We clearly see by this footage that we're looking at right here that Max Verstappen does not have that. He does not have the right to this apex, which they're already attacking. He doesn't have it. So if you want to go off of your opinion, I ain't going off opinion. I'm going off fact. Right now, this is not my opinion. This is fact based off guidelines set to determine an incident and who's at fault in these situations. Lewis Hamilton, you shouldn't have moved. You had the right to the apex. You had the right to make that turn. You had the right to adjust your car the way you needed to. You weren't moving around in the braking zone, and you should have went ahead and let that shit go, because then that would have been, Max, congratulations, you played yourself. Look how far Lewis Hamilton is off track to avoid that incident. So, and matter of fact, we don't even have to do that. We could just go. We'll just go and watch the video again right here. Let's just take it up to that point after the apex where they come through the tree clearing right here. Max is damn near off track. He's damn near off track. There's no way Max doesn't hit Lewis Hamilton if Lewis Hamilton doesn't avoid by going that far off track. We've seen this before, people. If we put an image of Brazil 2021 and overlapped it with the Hungarian GP, it will look damn near so similar, you might mistake it for an identical mistake. You might say, you know what, somebody photoshopped this. Somebody took 2021, probably 2022, several other situations happened in 2023, and overlapped it and somehow put Lewis Hamilton in a Ferrari when we know he's with Mercedes. No, it didn't happen. This is Max Verstappen doing the same shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And getting away with it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That is exactly what we have here. So back to the document. So as we get in here, we'll see that there was no telemetry. But Carv 1 stated during the hearing that he had gained some momentum. He gained some momentum. I gained some momentum on car 44 out of turn 3 with fresher tires and used his momentum to make a move on the inside at turn 4. He further elaborated that he was in full control of his car. Well, that was never the question, Max. Unlike what you did before here another year where you completely didn't have full control of your car, you locked it up, you damn skid it up, you smoked it up, and you went airborne because you made contact with Lewis Hamilton. You got away with that too. Why did he get away with that? Because of something Lewis Hamilton said. And something Lewis Hamilton said emboldened the FIA to feel like, you know what, Lewis Hamilton, we're going to make you an FIA steward today. We're going to take your testimony as an FIA steward, and we're going to go ahead and make our decision based off that. Any other time, that's not what they're doing, but okay. So it says, he says, fully in control of his car and could have stayed on track further to the inside to leave space for car 44 on the exit. What? Okay. Wait a minute. Wait. You're telling me that you could have left more space for Lewis Hamilton with that amount of speed going into that turn to the point that you would have not caused a collision? Max, you gotta be shitting me. If Lewis Hamilton doesn't start the bell right there, how in the hell is it that you wind up damn near off track if you had enough control of your car with that speed not to make a collision? No, the hell you don't. You do not. There's not enough room with the amount of speed and how you had to keep your wheel at an angle to make that turn without spinning it off for you and Lewis Hamilton both to be on track. Come on, man. Come on with the shenanigans, man. With the bullshit. Let's just call it what it is. However, he said, as car 44 had gone off track, not been ran off track, he elected to use all of the track on the exit. So, you know, when I realized that Lewis Hamilton took avoiding action of a collision that I clearly was about to cause, I just said, hey, since he saved my ass and these two cars, I'm just going to use all that space anyway. You know, I still could have left some room for him, but since he went off track by no reason but his own, I just decided to use more of that track. Man, if you don't get the hell out of here with that bullshit, but guess what? They take it because Max is used to him taking it. The team representative of car 44 confirmed that there was no contact between both cars. The team representative of car 44 confirmed that there was no contact between both cars. And further stated that the driver of car 44 chose not to attempt to remain on track. Hold up. Wait a minute. So, wait, is that due to me? I kind of look at that as if when you start reading that, you kind of think, is Lewis Hamilton not in the room? You know, when you start reading that, you kind of wonder, is Lewis Hamilton not in the room? Is Lewis Hamilton not there to state what he felt was there? No. Because it would say Lewis Hamilton. It would say driver. But he didn't even attend. So you let a representative go in and he confirms no contact, and he confirms 44 chose not to attempt to remain on the track. That right there is beyond poor ass representation. That is poor ass representation. I do hate this. I hate to give somebody anything remotely a positive remark given their character, but there's no way Christian Horner goes into that office, regardless if Max is there or not, and says some shit like that. Sheldon in the super chat says, Lewis moved because he's exhausted with Max's incidents. Lewis maybe thinks his good will maybe return. Okay, I got you. His form will maybe return in 2026. Should Lewis be in the title fight? Yeah, Sheldon, I feel you. I feel you. But this is not the way. If Lewis is about bringing change, this is not the way to do it. You gotta stop. Listen, at some point in time, you gotta stop letting the bully take your lunch money. And if you don't completely let them start taking it, you gotta make sure you make it challenging if they want to come try to take that shit every day. You want to fight every day? Okay. We're going to fight every day. You try to get my lunch money. I don't know if you're going to get it today. You're going to get it tomorrow, but I know you're going to have to fight to get it from me. I know you're not just going to come up here and I hand it to you. So you're going to have to decide, do you want to leave with some lumps and bruises? Because over time, I'm going to get better at fighting you. Especially if I'm going to lose, and I'm going to get better at fighting you. It's inevitable that I don't get better at fighting you if I'm putting my best foot forward. So you got to decide, you want to get a black eye for this lunch money? You want to get scratched in the face, kicked in the balls? You want to get something for this lunch money? You want to get choked out for this lunch money? You want to get your ass beat eventually for trying to take my lunch money? You can't do that. Mary Beanie in the super chat said, Jay Lewis did not attend the stewards meeting. Did not attend to go to the stewards. You are double shit? Or what is that? You telling me I'm shit, Mary Beanie? What is that? What is that going on? I know you're not saying that. I get you. But this is poor representation for Lewis. What's going on, Maria Duncan? What's up, Marciano? This is poor ass. What's up, Darth? This is poor ass representation for Lewis. Your driver doesn't attend, and you want to go in there and confirm there's no contact. Okay, that's cool if you wanted to go there. But then you want to say car 44, Lewis Hamilton chose not to attempt to remain on track. Hold up, bro. There's no way I go in there. I got you, Mary Beanie. I got you. I know what you meant. I just was having a little fun, a little laugh with you. There's no way I'm going in there and I'm saying that. No, what I'm going in there and saying is what actually happened. Yeah, there might have been no contact, but that's only because our driver and Lewis Hamilton avoided a collision that was going to happen. I want you to pull the telemetry of Max Verstappen, and I want that telemetry compared to his other laps before approaching car 44, and I want to know, is there any variable in there? Is there any variation in there that would further, pretty much so, show for evidence Max Verstappen took an action other than what he did before the laps? And then I want to deal with that from there. As a representative, I want that information because I clearly say you only said you used in-car video for evidence. I want telemetry. The video already showed based on people reporting during the live race that work for you or work for Formula One that I know you know about, that he carried a lot of speed into that turn. Did he carry that speed in the other lap? That's what I would like to know. That's where you start representing. But when you say he chose not to attempt to remain on track, you're pretty much just saying he gave up. I'm not doing that. Even if that were the case, I'm still not doing that. And what I am going to do is stick to the fact that driver of car one, that is clearly not number one in Formula One anymore, took an action other than what should have been taken for good racing. Actually, I also want to know, did he have right to the apex based on video evidence of where his front wing and where his front axle is in comparison to Lewis Hamilton's rear axle? Did he have the right to the apex? If the answer is no, then I'm working from there as well. My driver didn't attempt to stay on track. What are you talking about? No. He planned on staying on track until car one came in with so much speed and at an angle that his experience and his knowledge with this same driver several times before that you have documents on was going to cause an accident on track. He chose to alleviate that problem, but only because he was forced to. That's how you got to represent this shit. You can't go in there and do that. You don't go in there and represent your driver this poorly. Taking all this, and look at that. Look at how much was said on behalf of Max Verstappen, and look at how much was given on behalf of Lewis Hamilton. Crazy. Taking all that into account, the stewards determined that there was no contact and the incident does not qualify as forcing another car off track, despite the ambitious nature of the overtaking attempt. And no, it cracks me up the verbiage they use to embellish and just reward Max Verstappen as if, you know what, he's just ambitious. Let Lewis Hamilton do it. Oh, he's being antagonizing. He's antagonizing. Look, Max Verstappen, he's ambitious. It's kind of like black, white quarterbacks in the NFL league. It's like, oh, that guy's just passionate. I know he threw the football at his center's head, but he's passionate about trying to get things right. Black quarterback do it. Oh man, he's a problem. Oh, he's not passionate. He's a problem. We got to find another P word. So instead of being passionate, this quarterback's a problem. He goes into a press conference. He's heated. He's just passionate about trying to be the greatest. Black quarterback do it. Oh, he's a problem. He don't know how to talk to people. That's what you got right there. You got pretty much a resemblance of that right there with them saying that this was despite the ambitious nature of Max Verstappen. Oh my goodness. This shit is disgusting beyond disgusting. Dive bombing is ambitious. Purposely going into a situation to cause a collision unless the other driver wants to avoid it is ambitious. Doing this over and over again is ambitious. No, what this is the lack of ability of racecraft when it comes to wheel-to-wheel driving by Max Verstappen. That's what this is. I had already applauded Max for a move that he pulled on Alonso, which was clean. It was good. That was right. This was rubbish. This was rubbish. This is rubbish. So, overtaking attempt and take no further action. This is what they do. I knew it was going to happen. I told y'all this is what they were going to do. Lewis Hamilton didn't even show up to represent himself. And his representation did a very poor job. At Max, they did a poor job. That was very poor. That was very poor and is disappointing. And I got to ask you all this. Do y'all remember? Do you all not recall something? Because I want to bring this up to you. I want to show you this because I want you to consider the motive. I want you to consider the motive, all right? I got something to show you. I got something I want to show you. I want you to consider the motive. And what I am going to try to do is find the document for what I'm about to tell you. All right. Matter of fact, I'm just going to say it. Do y'all not recall that Max Verstappen, if he gets one more point on his super license, that he gets a race ban? Oh, shit. Wait a minute. If Max Verstappen gets one more point on his license, which I don't think it has expired yet, he gets a race ban. Now I get it. Do you not recall what Russell said in the race when he was on pole? You remember what Russell said? Oh, I got a few more points to play with. He was letting Max know right then and there, you come with the bullshit, you gonna get your race ban, bro. You gonna get your race ban because I'm not moving. Lewis Hamilton, bro, this was a disappointing weekend for you in more ways than one. But the way that I am more concerned about is your ability to pop your chest out and talk your shit. Your ability to step out and stand on business. And right here, you should have stood on business. You should have stood your ground and you should have let Max get what he was coming for. And then his ass would have had a race ban because it would have been hard shit for FIA to come out of that with Max carrying that much speed, you having the right to the apex, him causing the collision, and with that much damage, it would have been hard as shit for them to say, he not getting no penalty points. If they had done that, this shit would have been on fire. That's crazy. This is why we're here. They're saving Max once again. Uno in the super chat says, Max says off not pushing Lewis out is not on him. Shit, Max a liar. Max is a liar. Max is a liar. Yeah, y'all thought I forgot? They thought we forgot? Did y'all notice nobody talked about it? Nobody mentioned it. As much as little ass bullshit jockey looking Jacquees does talk about, why didn't he mention that, you know what, I'm surprised Max Verstappen would try that because he's facing a race ban. You notice how they haven't been talking about the race ban? You notice how they haven't been bringing it up? You notice how it's been real quiet as shit? You notice how they didn't even bring it up then? Why? Because they trying to scoop that shit, sweep it under the rugs. We don't want to do that. We got a super chat from Potato Smuggler. Full black man unable to defend another blackie. Hey y'all. There goes another idiot. What do you think? Derwin, you know what it is. You know exactly what it is. It's what we call racism. I mean, nobody uses that terminology unless they probably use the other word as well, right? Right? That's pretty much what it is. But I mean, with a name like that, we already know. Incredible Facts quest in the super chat. It's clear that Lewis Hamilton is being puzzled by his own team. My blood is boiling right now. Ferrari management doesn't like what Lewis is bringing. That right there is a very good point. And I'm going to tell you all this. A lot of you had already mentioned this. You've talked about this. You're right about this. There is a culture there at Ferrari that has been in place so long and has built a tidal wave so high, it is not going to be an easy thing to change. Mary Beanie and Maria Duncan talked about this specifically in our Wolves Den. That indeed, we don't know who the hell really is in charge. Maria Duncan mentioned this. Who is really in charge at Ferrari? And she brought up a good point. Fred Vasseur, given his extension, Ferrari must have some type of, not even must, they showed in a statement that they do. He needs to have full control and power of decision making when it comes to whatever is race involved. When we are looking to see who is at fault for making these decisions, we need to know exactly who we're talking to. And with Ferrari, you probably all don't know that. They're probably all hiding in a boardroom. Uno in the super chat, Max truly deserved a race ban. Another day be done. I'm telling you, he do deserve a race ban, but that's what they were trying to get. That's what they were trying to do. They are trying to keep him from getting that race ban. They're trying to keep Max from getting a race ban. Let me see if I can find the document. See if I can find the document real quick. I think it was at the Spanish GP. Spanish GP. We can look at that real quick. The Spanish GP. Yeah, let's look at that. Because, some people, they're going to be like, oh, no, man, you lying. Nah. Because that was with, I think that might have been the incident that he had with Carlos Sainz. No, or was it Charles Leclerc? It was Charles Leclerc, I think it was. Yeah, it was Charles Leclerc. Here it is right here. Here we go. Breach, boom, 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 sporting code, because that's for Charles. Now we need to look at the one for Max right here. And bow. There it is. Sporting code, boom, 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 tune. No, it was that must have not been the one then. I gotta find the one it was. We got a super chat from a potato smuggler. Okay, I'm not racist, but let's get it straight. People get emotional for, bro, listen, let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. When I see somebody, you must be a bit racist because nobody's going to call a black man a blackie. When you add that blackie on, that's another variation or a fucking undercover way of either trying to say nigger, colored, blackie. Yeah, bro, those terms don't work for me. They don't work for nobody. So what you can do is save me the bullshit and at least fess up to who you are. Because that's not what you do. So what you can do, you can apologize for using that terminology if you like. You want to try to stand on some business, you could try to apologize, but don't try to come at me like I'm ignorant or I'm a fool. And let's be clear here. Let's be very clear. I haven't said anything that isn't correct if you look at the guidelines. Did Max Verstappen have the right to that apex based on the guidelines of approaching a turn and claiming the right to that turn? Because I just showed you a document and a guideline that clearly says he didn't. So you're going to tell me that Max Verstappen going into that turn with that much speed was appropriate? That ain't got shit to do with emotions. That's a technicality. That's a fact based off guidelines that they use to determine who's at fault in those incidences. That's not shit. That ain't got nothing to do with emotions. See, what some of you like to do is you like to try to attack with straw man. You like to try to attack with emotional statements and then therefore try to build that shit from there. Bro, I ain't that type. I'm built way better than that. And I'm going to see through the bullshit. So yeah, when you say blackie, save me that, bro. Because I tell you what, if I was to create a Zoom link and you could come on with your face on camera and put your face to the shit you're saying, I bet you wouldn't do it because nobody really has. I've had one person do it and they ain't never been back because they know what the business is. Man, you can save me that, bro. Because we looking at documents and guidelines. See, that's what I mean. This is the same type of person talking about making an argument off emotions, and they getting emotional in the chat using the terminology blackie. Why? Because they already emotional. So that's how they want to attack you. They want to try to attack you with emotional verbiage. But then when you start bringing up facts and documents, where are your facts and documents at? I ain't look them up. I don't know where to find them. And if I find them, I really can't use them because then I'm just going to be further proving your case correct. Man, get out of here, man. That was lame. That was lame. And let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. People apologize for things that they didn't intend to do. You don't apologize for something you did with the intent to do it because you meant to do it. That's the way I was raised. That's the way I was raised. Don't apologize if you did something intentionally and you knew what the outcome was going to be. There's no reason for you to apologize. What you can do is take whatever consequences come to you and don't run away from them. But if you did something and it wasn't your intent and somebody perceived it mild-mannered, then you apologize because I never meant to make you feel that way. See, people be, I'm going to tell you, people be fucking with the wrong one for real. Incredible facts question in the super chat. Lewis should have stood his ground since he already is in the back of the pack and took the motherfucker out. True, he should have. But we already know you 100% correct. We already know where Lewis's head was. We already know where Lewis's head was, right? He was already withdrawn, but even still then he was able to stop and sign autographs because still some part of Lewis stays intact with carrying character and integrity. And even when Rachel, I think it was Rachel Winters, her ass, asking a question she knew damn well the answer to, and she was just trying to pretty much poke the bear. Lewis asked her, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I told you, and you keep asking me like you want another answer. Then she starts stumbling and fumbling because now she's being called out by Lewis in a way. But even then, he conducted himself in a manner that Max Verstappen damn well wouldn't have. He still showed her grace even while being in an emotional state of right there being frustrated and knowing that you're trying to just get news. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I'll give Lewis credit for that. Even in moments, and this is another part of what makes Lewis great. Even in those moments, he still tries to show the other person grace, even while he knows he's being subtly attacked. Even while he knows he's being subtly attacked. For sure. So we see right here a recent collision with George Russell at the, the Spanish GP? I got to see if that was this year. It was at the Spanish GP. Because I think that's where it was. So I'm trying to find that document so we can bring that up. Because it should be car 63. There it is right there. Car 1 causing a collision with car 63. So here it is right here. All right, so this is why they're trying to save Max's ass. Spanish GP. Car 1 collides with car 63 at turn 5. And I think I got it while I was thinking of Charles Leclerc because he had a similar incident before. Carlos did instead of Charles. But right here, 2 Delta. Lack of control of your car is what 2 Delta is going to be. And matter of fact, I think we can just go ahead and look at 2 Delta. We can just go ahead and look at 2 Delta right here. 2 Bravo is right here. We need to look at 2 Bravo first because we looked at it. Overtaken, according to the circumstances, may be carried out on either right or left. A driver may not leave the track without justifiable reason. More than one change of direction to defend a position is not permitted. Any driver moving back towards the racing line have earlier defended his position offline should leave at least 1 car width between his own car and the edge of the track on the approach of the corner. However, maneuvers liable to hinder other drivers, such as deliberate crowding. There's Max Verstappen right here. Here's Max Verstappen right here. Of a car beyond the edge of the track or any other abnormal change of direction are strictly prohibited. Any driver who appears guilty of any of the above offenses will be reported to the stewards. Delta, causing a collision, repetition of serious mistakes, of appearance of lack of control of your car. All of that is Max Verstappen. All of that is Max Verstappen. And right here, 3 penalty points he got for that, which put him at a total of 11 in a 12-month period, which means 1 more penalty point and your ass gets a race ban. They took the moment because Lewis Hamilton afforded them the opportunity by not attending the meeting, and then his representative gave him the green light to not penalize Max. Because there's no way Max should have not been penalized had had Lewis Hamilton had proper representation or attended that meeting to further support that Max had no right coming in that fast. Max had no right to the apex, and Lewis Hamilton chose to avoid a collision that was going to happen because of the actions of Max Verstappen. That's what should have been said. But instead, lackey ass, don't hire this person for a defensive attorney right here. Don't hire this person. They gave barely 2 sentences with all this to represent Max Verstappen and let him off. Don't hire that person as a defense attorney. That was bad representation. It was a bad choice on Lewis not to attend, and it was nothing but the consistent underhanded tactics of the FIA on behalf of Max Verstappen and the bullshit we get from Max Verstappen when he's in these situations. He never thinks he's wrong. Show me one time Max has said on track that he was wrong for causing a collision. I'll wait for it. I'll wait for Potato Smuggler to tell me that. I'll wait for you to tell me that. I bet your ass won't, because you're not going to find it. Uno, Potato Smuggler, don't be ignorant on here. Hey, bro, that ignorance is bliss and it's free. Then you don't even have to pay for it. They just go get it. I'll give him some credit, be balls enough to put his comment in bold so he was talking directly to me. You play silly games, you win a silly prize. Bro, I don't be worried about them quarter-ass Warriors. Hey, like Galactus said, appreciate you. Hey, this right here was bad. I knew this was going to happen, but it happened. Now y'all see it, and we break them down all the time. We break them down. We break the documents down. We go to the damn appendix. We go to the regulation. They don't mention nothing about that, right? And a lot of time when we go to these things, where do they go? They shut the hell up. They be in the background, real quiet. But that's all right. And you know what? They want to talk about all the good moves and all the stuff Max Verstappen did. You could talk about this too. I don't hear y'all talking about this. Y'all can talk about that too. That 9th place. You want to talk about them 2 points? You can talk about that. You should talk about that. Because who was on podium? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because remember what I said before the race, right? Y'all remember what I said before the race? I said that it's going to be very possible, depending on how this race turns out, where somebody's going to be in the championship standings. And I named 3 drivers that are very well in good perspective and have opportunity to overtake the 3rd spot in the drivers' championship real soon if things don't turn out the right way, if people don't do what the hell they're supposed to do. And he's getting closer. I told you all, he's getting closer. Why they don't want to talk about that? Did anybody mention that? Did anybody say, you know what? Max Verstappen might not even be 3rd in the drivers' championship this season, let alone 1st, let alone winning a championship. He might not even be 3rd, because with the placement and the poor drive, I know that's going to make him mad when I say it. I'm really just poking. Max Verstappen and the qualifying of Max Verstappen, while he can take an AlphaTauri or Haas to pole, and we know that's not true, while he can drag a tractor to the checker flag, well, we know that's not true. We oversold on a lot. Russell's not far from you, bro. He's not far from you. 15 points, Max. 15 points. You're going to be 4th in the drivers' championship. And if Ferrari get their act together with development, you might be 5th this season in the drivers' championship. So instead of Max Verstappen getting his 5th driving championship title, he might get 5th position in the drivers' championship standings. I mean, I guess a 5 for 5 either way you go. Yeah, 15 points. Russell get real close, remember what I also said, Mercedes, you need to be very careful about what you choosing to do. I don't mind you doing it because I would love nothing more than to talk about you rushing so bad and trying so bad and doing all these knee-jerk moves to acquire Max Verstappen to only get what you truly deserve, and that is shit. Because if I'm looking at this, I know I got a rookie sensation in Kimi Antonelli, although pressure's on him. He's getting used to Formula One. Like, he's getting scalded right now. He's going through a scalding process in Formula One, and I'm hoping it makes him stronger and forges him out of there. But I'm looking at George Russell, and I'm saying, is Max Verstappen really worth all this if George Russell can do this in a lesser car? Let's just be real. George Russell is about to pass Max Verstappen in a lesser car. In a car that has been troubled for 4 seasons against a car that has been dominant, one of the most dominant cars debatably in Formula One history, although not in its most dominant state right now, clearly not one of the slowest cars. And I bet pretty sure that the Mercedes, we look at and be like, if I had a Mercedes and a Red Bull in front of me right now, a RB and a W Series car in front of me, I'm choosing the RB. I'm even going to choose the Red Bull car. So don't let people fool you with the bullshit narrative that, the Red Bull car is just a horrible car. He's just got to do a lot with less. Nah. It's still one of the top cars up there. Not faster than McLaren. It's definitely faster than the Ferrari. And up until this point, it's debatably faster than the Mercedes. So you're still the second fastest car. You're still in the second fastest car. And that's what you're doing. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Educate these fools, twin, like school time. For sure. But they not talking about that. They're not talking about, damn, George Russell's about to overtake Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. If he could put another couple of good races together and Max keeps doing this, hey, I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying the truth. I'm just talking facts right now. I'm just talking truth. I'm talking opinions and I'm talking some facts. I showed you facts, talking some opinions, talking some forecasts, and talking about some predictions. I'm just talking about what could possibly take place or happen based on numbers and based on performance. But yeah, hey, it is what it is. This is what they do. And like I said, again, just letting Max Verstappen slide. And don't forget, had he got a penalty point, they would have had to ban Max Verstappen. They didn't want to, but they would have had to. But because I told you during the live racing highlights that they are going to wait and hope that either Lewis Hamilton comes there and gives them a reason that they don't have to penalize Max, or he doesn't show up, and he didn't show up. They counted on that. They banked on it, and they won. Yeah. Okay. It is what it is, people. This is what we're dealing with. So we're in summer break. We are going to be, don't forget, this past weekend, I'm taking the names from, I wrote a note down on when I started it. And I got a note here. We are ending it for this weekend. Somebody is going to get the 2024 Topps Chrome trading cards, looking for autographs, looking for rookies, looking for sapphires, looking for all type of good inserts. I'm going to set the other camera up above all the super chats. And remember, if you did super chats, your name is going to be in there, as many super chats as you did. So I don't care. And people, all is fair. If, let's just say Derwin did 20 super chats. Let's say Sylvia Witt Kelly did 50 super chats. Well, her name's going to be in there 50 times and Derwin's name's going to be in there 20 times. If you only did 1 or 2 super chats during that whole time span, I think it was about 3 races. I got my note. I'll go back and check it. But we ended it there. And you only got 1, then your name's only in there 1 or 2 times. But somebody's going to get it. And I do have more than 1 box that we're going to do. I got a couple other things we're going to do throughout the time that we're going to be here watching Formula One and growing as a channel and a community. We're going to do things like this for me to be able to give back to you all, because I don't think enough content creators give back to y'all. I don't think enough content creators do things like this to say, hey, I appreciate y'all. I'm just trying to show my appreciation in the best way I can. Right? I mean, I'm just saying. So, and we are going to have a grudge race. Wildcat, I heard you. Derwin, I heard you, bro. Even though you ain't say nothing, I heard your inner driver race self say, Jay, we got to have a grudge race during the summer break. We're going to have a grudge race, a live grudge race. I got to even remember how I set this up. I don't even think I updated this thing lately because y'all know what I've been going through. So, I'm getting on the other side of that trying to work out some things. So, yeah. All right, y'all. So that is what it is. Max Verstappen's lame as hell. He is dirty. He's a dirty driver. That's what he does. And the FIA letting him get away from it. Lewis, you being soft as hell right now. You got to buck up. You got to get stronger. I know you might be dealing with some things because I saw an interview with Lewis, and it really did look to me that there might have been some other things going on that might not even be related to Formula One, or some inner turmoil things going on at Ferrari where he's, just like we had somebody come in here and use pretty much a racial term that would represent a racial slur. You don't know what Lewis Hamilton might be going through in there and what they might be keeping quiet. You talking about a black man going into a team that has never had a black driver in Formula One, because there's only one team that's had one, and a team that has literally been Italian exclusive as far as their culture, with Fred and Lewis in there now trying to change the culture to become a championship culture. There are going to be some struggles in there that might be get pretty personal, okay? Gary Clay says in the super chat, it's the principle at the point. Not only am I not, let me see. Okay, I'm going to say collision with Max. Am I going to avoid another collision with Max? I'm causing a few myself. Okay. Gary, I really tried to make as much of that as I could. I'm pretty sure you were just passing it when you were typing, and I'm not the best typer either. But I think I kind of get the gist of what you're talking about. Principle at this point, not only am I going to avoid the collision with Max, I'm causing a few myself. Okay, I appreciate you. But if you could probably rewrite that so I can fully go ahead and let everybody understand what you were saying and then answer or respond to that as well. But I do appreciate you participating and adding to the conversation. Incredible Facts question, the super chat says, just go ahead and gift wrap it for me because I'm going to take it. Got you. Incredible Fact, yeah, you do have the choice for me just to send the box still wrapped in the Topps wrap, or I break it, basically go in here, open it here, and show everybody what you got. It's completely up to you. But you remember, you only got 2 days. So this week, I'm trying to put all that together. So please be there for the live events, because I'm going to do it during a live that I'm going to have live here, and we're just going to do that. Then we're going to talk about a subject. So be here and check in. You only have, no, I'm going to tell you right now, you got to the next time I go live to claim that. If you hadn't said anything in 2 days, I'm doing it again. I'm going to go live again, and I'm going to spin the wheel again, minus your name, for somebody else to get the opportunity that has also put their name in the hat one time or many times. And then I'm giving that person another 2 days or the next time until I go live. So if I go live the next day, then you got till then. If I don't go live until 2 days, you got till then. You should reach out to me via social media, Instagram, or Twitter. One of the two. You can reach me there. Message me, Instagram or Twitter, to say, hey, Jay, you called me up, or in the Discord, you called me up. That's me. Here's my name, my email, my number, my address for all the shipping information. Ship me my shit. I want it. I got you. Galactus in the super chat says, all trolls will be blocked. Try me. Yo, Sylvia Weck, hey, don't be playing. They don't be playing. Hey, Wildcat, I'm thinking that we're probably, I'm gonna pick one. I'm probably gonna pick one of my favorite tracks, but I will put that, I'm gonna go ahead and put that into the driver's room and out so you all can start practicing for that. I am fully aware to give my drivers time to prepare for the track that they need to be racing on. Through the experience we've had with each other, I've learned that they give them the track ahead of time so they can do it. And you already know we usually just go off the last track that we left off with. So it could be very well the Hungarian ring. All right, it could be Hungary, right? But I kind of want to pick a better track because Hungary to me wasn't a good track. So I'm gonna probably go back and pick another track, but I will put that out into the driver's room for y'all in the Discord. Sir Lewis Hamilton said he still loves racing. He did say that, Ms. Dino. I did hear that report as well, and I think that's where. I think we're talking about the same interview where I kind of felt that there was something else going on. I think we're talking about the same interview, and he will regroup and come back. I'm going to take that as a positive. I will too. He's got 3 weeks, about 3 weeks to do it, right? I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I think he's got about 3 weeks to make that happen. So plenty of time to digress. But I also agree, and I forget who made that point, that during this time, I don't think Lewis ought to be out doing all types of galas and all these other events. If you got some charitable events to go to for kids to support that, but anything that you really don't have to do, Lewis, I think you need to be locked in at the factory, in the sim, with the team, training with Angela. Shit, maybe even call Bono, have a conversation with him. Anything that you can do to help you see a different perspective and get back on board and just lock in. I think you need to lock in. I think it's about that time. Could do Spa. I tell you what. Hey, Derwin, is Derwin Hill in here? Derwin, how you feel about Spa? How you feel about the Spa track? Let me know how Derwin feel. If Derwin and both Wildcat agree with Spa in here, but I hate Spa because of the rain, but thank God I can control the weather there. I'm taking Spa weather and just making it completely clear and sunny. Derwin, how do you feel about Spa? If Derwin ain't really feeling Spa, then we go to somewhere else. If Derwin's still in here, but if not, then he's not. But yeah, going back to Ms. Dino, yes, I completely think maybe there could be something else. Or like Mary Beanie said, there's some inner turmoil going on and some things have taken place that rubbed Lewis completely the wrong way and probably other people completely the wrong way for their own reasons and then went for that. All right. So remember, to be included into the driver's room, you have to have at least competed into one grudge race. So you won't be eligible to get into the driver's room until you line up, show up in the lobby, line up on the grid, go through a race with us. And regardless if anything happens in racing. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm avid about the spin cam. I will talk shit on spin cam. It's just part of having fun. All right. Derwin didn't answer, but if Derwin answers in the Discord, I'll take that. So I need Wildcat, put a vote. How about this? You put a vote for the track selection in the driver's room, in the Discord, and then I will go based on what y'all have. Y'all got until Wednesday to let me know by vote what track you want. Majority rule. We'll do it that way, okay? All right, big shout out, y'all. We're out of here. Max is Max, Mad Max, Max crash strapping, all the other stuff. And the FIA let him off again. So that's what it is. And that will be what it's going to be until people like George Russell and Oscar Piastri stand their ground more often than not, schooling Max's ass up, and the FIA are forced to deal with it. Because had Lewis Hamilton stood his ground and let Max play that stupid game, they would have been forced to penalize Max because he didn't have any rights to that corner whatsoever. So we out of here, all right? Peace and love.